Okay, so there is a long gap. Today we will understand completely about the predicate. Okay, so you will get the complete picture about the predicate interface with this particular example. So the example that we are going to see is employee management system. I think you can use this even in the real-time application. So just understand, try to grasp the concept. We try to understand the how we can retrieve the specific data from the list of employees. So when I say list of employees, I mean, for example, if you are developing an application, any application, any software application, if you are developing, if you want to store employee details, so basically you can store like many information related to that employee. In our example, we are going to store the name of the employee, the designation of the employee, right? And I also want to store the age of the employee and employee salary, right? And the employee location, okay? From where the employee is located, city again, say, right? So I want to design an application. I want to ensure that the name, designation, age, salary, and the city information is getting stored from the employee. Okay, so I will be creating many employee objects. Like I will be creating many number of employee objects, and each and every employee object is going to have all this information. It's going to have what? All this information, right? Each and every employee is going to have all this information: name, designation, no age, salary, and city. And what I want to do, I want to do the filtering operation. I want to do what? I want to do the filtering or the retrieval operation. Retrieval operation. When I say retrieval operation, what I actually mean is we want to retrieve employees who are living in a specific city. For example, if the employee is living in Chennai city, I want to retrieve those employees. Or else if I want to retrieve employee based on the designation, like team leader, I want to list out those employees. I want to retrieve those employees. Or if I want to retrieve the employee based upon the age. So sometimes the employee age can be between 18 to 60 years old, right? 18 to 60 years old. I want to retrieve employee information who are older than 80 or who are lesser than equal to 30 years old, 30-year old. And also I want to retrieve some combinations. I want to try many combinations. Like I want to retrieve the employee information based upon the age as well as based upon the city. Okay, I want to make all this set of combination by using what? Just by using predicates. You can achieve this. You can achieve all these operations just by using predicates. How we can achieve that? We are going to see. If you don't understand what is predicate, we have already discussed about predicate in the last 5 classes. Today, the full-fledged application you are going to develop. Okay, it will not take much time. Just pay some attention. You will understand how the real-time application works. How the real-time application works, you can develop this just by using predicates. Shall we go? Yes, no? Just type something in the chat box so that I can understand that you and we are going together. Are we good to proceed? Okay then, stay focused here. So see, before even introducing the predicate, I want to design a simple, what we call it as simple class. So when I say class, I want to design a class, employee class. Let us take it, I want to design an employee class. Always remember, since we are going to deal with the employee data, so the data is going to be in the form of what? Properties. How many properties that I want to introduce? I want to introduce totally 5 properties. Yes or no? Yeah, because I want to consider name. Name is the property, designation is the property, age is a property, salary is the property, and the city is the property. If you want, you can add any number of properties. But my application wants only these 5 properties. Okay, so I need to introduce those properties in the class in the form of instance variables. So what is the first property that we are discussing? String. Name is the first property. So name should always be of what type? String type, right? What is the second property? Designation. So designation should always be in the form of what type? String type, right? And what is the third property that I want to introduce? Age. So when I say age is a value, it is a number, so integer property, right? What is the other property that I want to introduce? Salary is the other property. When I say salary, salary will be always in the form of floating values, right? So float, right? And the last property is what? The city property, or you can use location also depending upon the requirement. So the city should is in the form of what? String. So these are the 5 properties that I want to introduce. To initialize instance variables, we know already we need to use the constructors, right? So let me directly what we call it as directly enable the constructor by using the Eclipse editor. You know how to do that. Source, generate constructors using fields, right? And you know, check all the boxes. It is already checked, so I just click on generate, right? So constructor has been generated, so you don't need to keep the super keyword, you can remove this. So this constructor is used to do what? This constructor is used to initialize the instance variable. So far we have just created an employee class. Always remember, whatever you want to create, if you want to manipulate, if you want to do some data manipulation, just think how many properties you want to deal with. Just think how many how much of information that you want to store. Based upon that, you can create property. You can add more properties also, no issues. You can add the zip code, you can add the address bill, it's up to you. I'm keeping this application very simple. Okay, so employee class has been successfully created. Now what I want to do, okay, I want to create an array list to store each and every object. Okay, I want to create what? I want to create an array list. Focus here, it will be very interesting. Now I want to create an array list. Now I am introducing the collections concept. Okay, this array list is going to accept the generic type of employee. So I am just copying the employee class and I am pasting it here. Okay, reference variables can be anything. So I want to keep the variable name as a meaningful name. So the variable name is going to be what? Employees equal to new array list. Okay, so after doing this, I just want to add one employee. Okay, see guys, so this is the employee class. So I want to create an object for the employee class. So employee E1 equal to new employee. Okay, this employee will accept 5 set of information. So we need to pass the information in the constructor order. What is the order of the constructor? First, it is expecting a name, designation, age, salary, and the city. I want to store the information of the first employee. Okay, let me consider myself as an employee. So my name is what? Balaji. So let us say that my designation is CEO. Okay, so just for the example, I am taking it as CEO, and let us say that my age is something like 30, right? And let us say that my salary is around 1 lakh, right? So I am from Chennai. Okay, now what I am doing it is just observe. I have created an object for the what? Employee. Employee E1 equal to new employee. Right, so I am using this the employee constructors to store what? To store the employee information. Why this is giving error? So we have a name, we have designation, we have age, we have, okay, this one is should be F. Okay, floating point, right? So that's why F is missing, F is mandatory. Okay, so object has been created. So I want to store this object. So just observe one thing from the main method. So we are creating all this in the main method. So let me copy this and let me paste it here. Okay, so this is our code. So only 2 lines of code we have in the main method. From the main method perspective, we have only 2 lines of code, isn't it? The first line is object creation. First line talks about what? Object creation, right? So what happens? An object will be created, and this object is going to have all this information, right? One is Balaji, followed by the designation information, the age information, and the salary information, isn't it? And we have what? The location information. Okay, this has been named as what? This has been named as E1. Only one employee information I have created. Okay, after this, what I have done, I have created an array list. Okay, sir. So this is the default array list object, right? So for the default array list in the collections concept, we have already seen that an array of the size 10 will be created, right? Okay, the size 10 will be created, and this is going to have what? This is going to be employees, because that is the name of the reference variable, right? So because of these two lines of code, these two things has happened behind the scenes. After this, what I want to do, I want to store this object in this array list. In order to do that, I can do what? I can do employees dot add. Add is a method, right? I can add the employee object E1. Okay, the moment I introduce the third line, okay, the moment I introduce something on the 36th line, okay, so because of this line, what will happen? You are adding an E1 object. Just to focus here. You are adding an object of what? E1, right? So this is E1. Okay, you are storing that E1 in which variable? In the employees variable. This employees variable is of what type? It is of what? Array list type, right? So this object will get settled in this complete object. This complete E1 object will be settled in the array list. Okay, will be settled here. So I have just created only one object. I am storing that object in the array list. So these are the things that are happening behind the scenes. Okay, let me introduce the few more things here. The moment if I print the reference variable E1, the moment I print the reference variable E1, okay, so we will expect that the employee information will be listed in the console, but we are getting something like this. We are getting something like this, a Greek and Latin information, because the object class toString method will be overridden. So we have discussed this already. Whenever you are trying to print the reference variable of array list, okay, the object class toString method will be called. So we need to ensure that our employee class toString method, the object class toString method is overridden. So we want to override this toString method of the object class so that the meaningful information will be displayed in the console. My concern is that, so instead of the object class toString, I just want to print all the information related to the employee object. So I want to print all this information. Okay, but what is happening behind the scenes? The moment when you give this system.out.println statement, and when the moment you call E1, object class toString method is getting printed. Okay, let me print employees. So even if you print employees also, object class toString method is getting called. So you want to override the toString method. Okay, how I can override that? Just go to the employee class, just call the toString method, just override the toString method, public string toString. Okay, after overriding this toString method, just create a string object. And there is a method called format method. Just focus here. There is a method called format method. Okay, I will tell you what this method is going to do. In this format method, just consider the order. What is order? First, just consider the data type. Consider this order and specifically think about the data type: string, integer, float, and string. We give the same order here, like use percentage s, yes, because again string, and percentage you need to give what? You need to give the d is for integer, and percentage f is for floating point value, and percentage s. Okay, you are just trying to specify this order of the data type. So just go to the constructor and see the order. The order is string, integer, float, and the string, right? So for the string, you can represent string in the form of percentage s or the modular s. This is for modular d is meant for integer, modular f is meant for floating point value, and modular s is meant for what? Mean for string. After doing all this, okay, and give a comma, right, and give the variable names, name comma, just copy these variable names and give designation comma age comma, and we have what, we have salary comma, and we have what, city. Okay, after doing all this, just return this toString method. I think one curly brace is missing, name comma, okay, I think we need to give only one. Okay, we will return yes. Yes. Okay, now if after overriding this toString method, if I just rerun this code once again, okay, now output is meaningful. Why the output is meaningful? Now if this is going to call, okay, the moment you are trying to print the employees information which is of array list type, it will call the toString method. Okay, the toString method will ensure that the information inside the object, the each and every information will be called in the orderly fashion. First information is Balaji, followed by CEO, followed by age, followed by the what we call it as the salary, followed by the city. In this order it will go. Why this is going to follow this order means, so we are enabling this order in the toString method. Okay, in the toString method we are enabling that order. You are giving name, you are giving designation, age, salary, and city. According to this order, the output will be displayed in the console. So we know this already. I am just discussing it for the better understanding. Toasting method. If you want to keep it in a very in an organized fashion, I can put this in the bracket. Okay, so this will be in the information will be inside the brackets, inside the simple parenthesis. Okay, and if you observe one thing, the floating point value is very large. Okay, it is considering 6 values after the decimal point. I want to restrict this to the 2 values, so I can give here what 0.2f, 0.2f I can give. If I do 0.2f, only 2 decimal values will be considered. After the decimal point, 2 values will be considered. If you give 3 values will be considered. Things like that. So now we have understood how to add an object inside the array list. So I want to add many number of objects. So we have added only one object. Okay, I want to add many number of objects. Right? In order to achieve this, I have already created a method called the the populate method. My name of the method is what? The populate method. So what I want to do, okay, in this populate method, I have all information regarding to the employee. So I have Balaji, I have Ratna, Ganesh, Ramesh, Jyoti, and their resignation. Okay, I just want to save some time, so I have created a method, static method already. I have listed out all the information. So I'm just going to call this populate method. So this populate method will ensure that all these objects will be added inside this employee reference variable. Okay, I'm going to call what? I'm going to call employees dot populate method. What is the name of the method? Okay, populate. Just populate method. Populate employees. I am passing the employees object. So all this information will get populated. And if I print this now, okay, you get all the information in the orderly fashion. All the information is getting displayed in the console. Even if you can, if you want, you can use this, but this is how you need to develop an application. You cannot keep on adding the objects one by one. I can remove this and I can just depend upon this populate method. The moment you call populate method, so it is creating how many objects? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 objects it is creating. Right? The first object is Balaji CEO. Likewise, second object is Ratna. So all the information you have and all the information you are storing just by using this populate method. So you are just hard coding this, nothing else. Or else if you don't like this, you can add one by one. Employees dot add. First you need to create objects for each and every employees. Then after creating an object, you need to add the information related to that employees by using this employee reference. You can do the either way. So because of this, what are the things that are going to happen behind the scenes? So like this object, there will be 10 objects. First one is Balaji, second one is Ratna. Likewise, 10 objects will be added inside the array list reference variable. Okay, and when you try to print the employees, all the information related to the employees will be displayed in the console. Nothing else we are doing. Okay, now we want to play with what? We want to play with the predicate. So we have, what we have done so far, we are able to add some data into the array list. Okay? We are able to create a class for the employee. First thing, we are able to create a class for employee. So by using these properties, by using these constructors, we are able to add some data. So I have 10 set of employees. So now we want to perform the filtering and the retrieval operation by using what? By using the predicate. Okay, I want to design a first predicate. My first predicate, I want to design my first predicate in such a way that it is going to display only the employees who is designated as a developer. Okay, I want to fetch all employees who are developers. How I can do this? Just use a predicate. Okay, predicate should be of what type? Should be of employee type, right? And I am taking the reference variable as p1, right? And you can take any reference variable here. Employee e arrow token e dot designation. If the designation dot equals developer. Okay. The designation is matching with the developer. The developer is a string, right? The designation is matching with the developer. I want to retrieve that information. I want to do what? I want to retrieve that information. Okay, how I can achieve this? Okay, I am using a for loop. I mean enhanced for loop. This enhanced for loop is going to take the employees in the employees array. Okay, I will explain this for you, don't worry. System.out.println. So by using this reference variable, so this is a predicate. P1 is of what type? Predicate type. So by using this reference variable, I need to call the test method. This test method will accept E1 as an argument. Okay, if I run this, okay, it is just giving the false, true, false, but I want to print the actual designation information. I want to print the actual designation information. In order to do that, what I will do, I will use if condition and I will call the test method on top of inside this if condition. So P1 dot, I will call the test method. So if this is returning true, I want to print that particular employee. Okay, when this is returning true, I want to print that employee information. I want to print what? I just want to print that employee information. Now if you see, if I run this once again in the console, okay, I am getting all the employee information whose designation is of what type, whose designation is of developer. Let me remove this because we are done with this now. Now you see. Now you are getting Ganesh, Ramesh, Venkatesh, and Samikta. They are developers. The designation is developer. Are you getting it? So let us try to understand this piece of code. Nothing else, very easy. So now you see, just focus on the predicate. First focus on the predicate. So this is our predicate, right? Okay. So this is our predicate. So you are trying to enable a lambda expression. So what you are doing, you are enabling a lambda expression. Right, so you have an input. Okay, you are considering two things here. You are considering the input thing, you are considering the output thing. Okay, so you are passing each and every object, each and every employee's object. Okay, there are how many objects totally? There are 10 objects totally. So you are writing the logic for the P1. This is the logic for what? This is the logic for P1. Focus here. This is logic for P1. What you are trying to retrieve? You are trying to retrieve the data of employees who are working as a developer. So this is the criteria. You are just calling a lambda expression. So just try to revise my video for the lambda expression. You are writing a lambda expression. This lambda expression is going to do what? It is going to return the list of employees who are developers. Right? So how many objects you have totally? You have totally 10 objects, right? So totally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like this, you have 10 number of objects. So this is the where you will send the input. Okay, and there is a logic inside for this predicate. So this is the logic. So this logic will check whether the particular employee is I mean the designation of the particular employee is a developer or not. Developer or not. If the employee is a developer, it will return true. If the employee is not a developer, it will return false. So that is the logic behind this predicate. Okay, the first, okay, you are again after this you are using a for loop. Okay, inside this for loop and you are using a if condition. Okay, inside this if condition, the condition itself says in the condition you are using a predicate P1. Okay, P1 is going to do what? Going to return the list of employees who are developers. Right, and you are calling the test method. Right, it is just like each and every employee object will go inside. Okay, if that particular employee is designated as a developer, it will come out. It will return true. If not, it will return false. Right, so each and every employee will go inside, and if the employee is developer, you will get it as true, and that information will be displayed on the console. In our case, just see how many list of employees we have. Okay, we have Balaji, we have Ratna, we have Ganesh, we have Ramesh. Okay, each and every object will go inside the predicate and it will check. Okay, the designation is developer. No, it is not. So this is going to be false. Okay, the designation is developer. No, team leader. So false. Ganesh, the designation is developer. Yes, developer. So Ganesh will be displayed on the console. Okay, Ramesh, designation is developer. Yes, it is. Ramesh will be displayed on the console. Jyoti, designation is developer. No, HR. So it will not return. Srikanth, admin. No. Shashwan, team leader, no. Venkatesh, developer, yes, display in the console. Suresh, HR, no. Samika, developer, display in the console. So this is the first thing that we have achieved. Now my second requirement is I want to display employee. Okay, now see what will happen. Okay, now my first criteria is fulfilled. Now my second criteria is I want to fetch all employees who are from Bangalore or who are from Chennai. How I can write predicate for this? Okay, just write predicate employee, right? P2 equal to, you can give any meaningful any name. Okay, like I can pass a arrow token a dot location or city, a dot city dot equals pass the city name here, Chennai. If the employee is from Chennai, you will get the list of employees who are from Chennai. Right? And what name you are using here? You are using the name P2 here. Instead of P1, pass P2. Instead of P1, pass P2 and you see the results. Okay, Balaji is from Chennai, Ratna is from Chennai, Suresh is from Chennai. So now you are designing a predicate in such a way that it will take each and every object. Okay, first Balaji object will go inside and it will check for the location. Yes, Balaji is from Chennai. Display it in the console. Okay, this logic is checking the location and this piece of code is displaying the information. As simple as that. So this logic is meant to do the things that we require. This logic is just printing what we require. Okay, that's why the name of the predicate is P2. You are passing P2. Are you getting this? Okay. So now if I pass instead of Chennai, if I pass Bangalore. Okay, and I will get the list of employees who are from what? Who are from Bangalore. Only 2 employees are there from Bangalore. Okay, if I want to print the list of employees who are from Pune, I can give the same thing. Pune. You will get list of employees who are from Pune. Are you getting this? Okay, now you want to find the list of employees who are from Pune as well as Chennai, or Pune or Chennai, Pune or Chennai. Okay, I will use a condition like what? I will use a condition like or condition here, or logical operator here. Okay, either display if the employee is from Pune or Chennai. So this is my logic. I am just using the or operator here. Okay, I will get all list of employees who are either from Chennai or from Pune. Right, like this you can play with the predicate. So this is my second predicate. So let us stick to the one logic. Okay, I want to write a third predicate. Now this time I want to print the, or I can say that I want to fetch all employees whose salary is less than 30,000, because I decided to do what? I decided to give an increment to all the employees whose salary is less than 30,000. But in order to do that, I want to fetch the list of employees whose salary is basically less than 30,000. Oh, I can write a predicate for this. Okay, just write the predicate. Okay, and the type is what? Employee type, right? And give any name, the meaningful name. Okay, I am just considering this order: P1, P2, P3. P3 equal to, okay, any salary, right? Yes, you can give any name. S dot salary. If the salary is lesser than or equal to 30,000. Okay, it is going to display the employees whose salary is lesser than or equal to 30,000. So here what I am using, I am using the P3. P3. Now what is our design? The logical design is, the lambda expression is saying that, okay, it is designed in such a way that the list of employees whose salary is less than 30,000 will be displayed. In order to display that, you are using this for loop, enhancer for loop. Okay, each and every object will pass here. Okay, every time always keep your imagination like this. How your imagination should be like, okay, whenever you are using the enhancer for loop. So this is the code, right? Okay, whenever you are using the enhancer for loop. Okay, this enhancer for loop, this is of what type? This is of employee type, and you are passing what? You are passing employees. So employees is what? You are passing employees object. Means how many objects are stored in this employees? So there are 10 objects total. Every time the first object will pass, second object will pass, third object will pass, like that it goes. Okay, totally we have created how many objects? Totally we have created 10 objects. Like this we have created how many objects? 10 objects. Objects. What is the first object? First object. So Balaji, Ratna, so these are the objects. So we have Balaji CEO. So this is the first object information. I think you can understand this. We have Balaji, Ratna, Ganesh, Ramesh, Jyoti. First, just let us consider. This is Balaji. Ratna, Ramesh, Jyoti. Okay, you are using the enhancer for, and this is going to take each and every object inside. Firstly, Balaji object will go here. Okay, and there is a if condition. Okay, this if condition will check for the criteria. What is the criteria? You are using P3. P3 is logically doing what? P3 is logically doing what? It is checking the salary of the object, salary of the employee. If the salary of the employee is greater than, lesser than or equal to 30 or no. Right? If the Balaji salary is lesser than or equal to 30, right, this will enter into the if condition and all the details of the Balaji will be printed. If not, this will not enter into the if condition. Okay, according to the data, Balaji salary is more than 30,000. So this will not enter into the if condition. So the data will not be displayed. Okay, like that each and every object will go inside and will be tested on the test method. And it will check for the salary. If it is greater than 30,000, okay, that data will be displayed, or else it will not enter into the if condition. Okay, having said this, if I run this piece of code, Okay, and you will get the list of employees whose salary is lesser than 30. Only Ganesh, Ramesh, and Srikanth, their salary are lesser than or equal to 30,000. So those data is getting displayed in the console because they are getting validated for this lambda expression. Among all the 10 objects, only 3 objects are getting validated successfully, and their data is getting displayed in the console because this if condition is getting satisfied. So this is the third predicate. Like this, I can write any number of predicates. Okay, I want to fetch the employees. I want to fetch the employees whose age is greater than 20 but lesser than 30. Okay, how I can write a predicate for this? Predicate. Okay, I want to fetch all the employees whose age is greater than 20 but lesser than 30. Two conditions. Very simple. Write a predicate. Employee T4 equal to so you're talking about what age, right? So you can give any name. A, an arrow token. Okay, A dot age. Age. If the age is greater than 20, so two conditions I want to set. At the same time, A dot age is lesser than 30. Okay, the age of the employees whose age is greater than 20 and lesser than 30 will be displayed in the console. This is the reference variable of P4, right? So you will give P4 here, and you will call the test method. Okay, and you will list out all the employee objects. So each and every object will go inside and will be tested upon this P4. And you see Ratna is 22, Ganesh is 27, Jyoti is 23, and all the details of the employees whose age is falling between 20 and 30 are getting displayed in the console. Every time we are able to retrieve the data according to the condition or according to our requirement by using the predicate. Right? If we want to fetch employees, okay, and what else we have? Okay, if we want to fetch the employees whose name starts with S, it's a good condition, isn't it? My fifth predicate. I want to fetch all the employees whose name starts with yes. Okay, predicate employee. So P5. Okay, and you can take any variable name here. So I am taking name dot. Okay, there is a method called name dot. Name variable is already there now, so I am just taking what the variable name as n arrow token n dot name dot. There is a method called starts with yes. This is the fifth predicate. Okay, this logic is developed considering if the employee name starts with S or not. If the employee name starts with S, print those employees information. What is the name of the predicate? P5. Now just pass P5. It will list out all the employees whose name starts with S. Take on such one, Suresh and Samantha. Right? So this is how you can write predicates effectively for the to retrieve the data even from the database. Okay, if you are connected to the database, you can do the same things. You can do so many information. So if all this information is stored in the database, if you want to fetch the data effectively, you can go for predicates. Okay, do you remember I was telling you about the default methods inside the predicate? Now if you see each and every criteria, you see each and every requirement, okay, I can combine two requirements together by using what? By using the default methods. For example, now if you see here I have a predicate, so which is going to print all the employees whose designation is developer. If I want to do the opposite, what I can do, I can use the negate method. Opposite means what, guys? What is the question? I want to fetch all the employees who are developers. What is opposite condition? I want to fetch employees who are not developers. In order to achieve this, what I can do? I can use a method called default method called the negate method. Do you remember? We have discussed these things already. A predicate and employee, there is a method. Okay, let us take this as P6. P6 equal to P1. Just call the negate method on top of what? P1. This is the default method. The moment you call the negate method, this negate method is a default method in the predicate, which is just going to do the opposite. Opposite of what? Opposite of P1. P1 is what? P1 is a lambda expression that is enabled to display all the employees information who are developers. You want to do the opposite, who are not developers. If you want to do that, just use the negate method. If you just call P6, now you will get the list of all the employees who are not developers. Means the employees apart from developers, you will get this ER information, team leader information, HR information, admin information, team leader, but no, there are no developers information. For understanding this is the purpose of what? This is the purpose of when you want to combine two logics, you can go for negate. For example, I want to print all the employees whose age is between 20 and 30, as well as whose name starts with S. I want to combine these two conditions. Okay, so what is my requirement now? I want to combine these two conditions. This is my first condition, and I want to also do what? I want to fetch their name should start with S. I want to combine these two conditions, right? What I'm using here in the English statement itself, I'm using what? I'm using and, right? So the same thing apply for the predicate default methods also. There is a default method called predicate employee. So this time I'm taking the as P7. What I want to combine? Whose age is between 20 and 30. So what is the name of the predicate? P4. P4. There is a method called AND method. This AND method will accept a predicate as a parameter to combine two predicates. To combine two logics. I want to combine the logic of P4 as well as logic of P5. Okay, what will happen if I combine this? If I want to ensure that the employees must be between 20 and 30, at the same time their name starts with S. Right? So I can use a default method called AND method. So this will ensure that all the employees whose age falls between 20 and 30, as well as whose names are also starting with S, will be displayed in the console. See, only Samyukta is there, right? Your name starts with S, condition satisfied, and your age falls in between 20 and 30. Like this, you can combine two logics, right? Now, if I want to print all the employees who are what we call it as, okay, I want to print all the employees who are from Pune, okay, and or who are developers. I want to combine these two logics. They should be from Pune or they should be developers. Okay, these two logic I want to combine. Either one of the conditions should satisfy. Okay, so who are developers and who are what? Who are from Pune. Or either one of the conditions. I am using or here. Either one. Okay, create a predicate. Okay, and employee. So this time P8. Okay, equal to. So what I want to do? I want to display either the developer or the location. Location has to be from Pune or the employee has to be a developer. So P1 dot or P2. I'm combining two logics by using what? By using a method called OR method. It's a default method. This negate method, this AND method, this OR method, they are the default methods in the predicate. Okay, they are used to combine two predicates to match our requirements. Okay, why I'm doing this? I can just pass P8 here. If I pass P8 in the answer for loop, you get so first Ganesh developer condition satisfied, Ramesh developer condition satisfied, Srikanth admin but Pune condition satisfied. Condition is what? Either Pune or they should be developer. not both of them. The employee can be developer or they should be from Pune. If you take each and every object, at least one condition is satisfied. At least one condition. Developer satisfied. Here Pune is satisfied. Again here developer satisfied. Here see Samyukta both satisfied. No issues. Even if it is both the conditions satisfied, also no issues. Right? So like this, you can play with the predicates just by by adding employee objects. Just imagine that in the future you will deal with these objects from the database. This information will be in the database. You will try to use the same logic, same predicate logics, okay, to get the to fetch the information effectively. If you are not understanding what is negate method, what is AND method, and what is OR method, just repeat my previous videos. I have explained there very clearly. Okay. By this, I can conclude that we have successfully completed the topic called the predicate. Predicate is one of the important functional interfaces in Java. Okay. After this predicate, we have to complete the three more interfaces. Function interfaces are consumer, supplier. Okay. After completing all these four, you will become experts in Java. Okay. So just a request from my side.